looked an hour ago, we were up like close to 3,000 points. Nobody's ever seen a day like that. I think that's a record, isn't it, fellas?
Definitely.
Is that a record? Who would have thought we were going to have a record like that after watching? But because the geniuses of the world, they get it. Our country is very strong. We were left a very, very weakened country.
Said that was fake news, that the president is not considering.
Hundreds of thousands. They are great champions, I got to say hello. Who would have thought we were going to have a record like that after...
Mr. President, it seems that China's made some... Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Thanks. For the past few days, we've heard from this administration no pause. Was this idea of doing a pause, did that just come about this morning? Can you tell us exactly what came into consideration for you and your advisors?
For a period of time, I wouldn't say this morning. Over the last few days, I've been thinking about it. I've been dealing with Scott, with Howard, with some other people that are very professional. And I think it probably came together early this morning, fairly early this morning. Just wrote it up. We didn't have access to lawyers, or we just wrote it up from our hearts, right? It was written from the heart.
They didn't put them in. No, they threatened them, but they picked a later date, which our expectation is it's going to be later still.
Okay, good. I'm glad that they helped. We don't want to hurt countries that don't need to be hurt, and they all want to negotiate. The only problem is, you can only do so many at one time. We want to do it right. We want to get it right. But this was something certainly we've been talking about for a period of time, and we decided to pull the trigger. And we did it today, and we're happy about it. I didn't know it would have that kind of an impact, but it's, I think the biggest increase in the history of the stock market. That's pretty good. If you keep going, you're going to be back to where it was 4 weeks ago. But it was a sick market 4 weeks ago, because the trade was sick. It was only a question of time. I don't blame the tariffs. I think the tariffs just sort of magnified what was happening. It was sick.
I'd just like to end with this. For decades, Republicans and Democrats have said that these unfair trade practices are ripping off the...
President Trump responded very courageously to that, and we are going to work on a solution with our trading partners.
And if I could just, excuse me, Raquel, if I could just add to what the Secretary said. Many of you in the media clearly missed the art of the deal. You clearly failed to see what President Trump is doing here. You tried to say that the rest of the world would be moved closer to China when in fact we've seen the opposite effect. The entire world is calling the United States of America, not China, because they need our markets, they need our consumers, and they need this president in the Oval Office to talk to them. And that's exactly why more than 75 countries have called, and as the president has shown great courage, as the secretary has said, in choosing to retaliate against China even higher. Elena, go ahead.
Isn't this now just all about China?
Well, it's about bad actors. And what we will see is some of the very early countries are China's neighbors. I'm seeing Vietnam today, Japan's at the front of the queue, South Korea, India.
The 90-day pause on the reciprocal tariffs, is that because of the whiplash that we've been seeing across the financial markets? How much was what we saw in the stock markets a part of this decision?
No, it's because it's going to, because of the large number of inbounds, we've had more than 75 countries contact us. So it is just a processing problem. Each one of these solutions is going to be bespoke. It is going to take some time, and President Trump wants to be personally involved. So that's why we're getting the 90-day pause.
Just trade barriers coming down, or is it more than
that? These are trade negotiations. We are thinking about a big LNG project in Alaska. South Korea, Japan, Taiwan are interested in financing and taking a substantial portion of the offtake. But again, in essence, that is trade.
I just don't know how quite to go about it. It's one of those things I don't know. White is more affected by the
90-day pause.
Well, I thought that people were.
Yeah. You started the morning saying be cool, and just a few hours later, there was a pause put in on the tariffs. Can you walk us through your thinking about why you decided to put a 90-day pause?
Well, I thought that people were jumping a little bit out of line. They were getting yippy, you know? They were getting a little bit yippy, a little bit afraid, unlike these champions, because we have a big job to do. No other president would have done what I did. No other president. I know the presidents, they wouldn't have done it.
Because you said that these tariffs would go into effect on Monday. You said no pause. And today there is a pause. So how can people believe your word today?
It's not a question of that. You have to have flexibility. I could say, here's a wall, and I'm going to go through that wall. I'm going to go through it no matter what. And keep going, and you can't go through the wall. Sometimes you have to be able to go under the wall, around the wall, or over the wall. I think in financial markets, because they change. Look how much it changed today. We went from pretty moderate today, but over the last few days it looked pretty glum. I guess they say it was the biggest day in financial history. That's a pretty big change. I think the word would be flexible. You have to be flexible.
Would you consider exempting some U.S. companies, maybe some larger companies who have been hit hard in the markets the last few days during this 90 days?
As time goes by, we're going to take a look at it. There are some that have been hard. There are some that by the nature of the company get hit a little bit harder, and we'll take a look at that.
How will you determine it over the next 90 days?
Just instinctively, more than anything else. I mean, you almost can't take a pencil to paper. It's really more of an instinct, I think, than anything else. 2 billion. He's a friend of mine. I mean, I like him. President Xi, I like him, I respect him. But they haven't treated our country right. Sure, I'd meet with him. On the other countries, we have Japan is here, and South Korea is here, and others are here, and we're trying to see them.
Are you in a way putting together a coalition against China in terms of trade here?
No. Well, China, look, they're very capable, and I don't blame China for what happened. I blame the people sitting right at this desk. Right behind this desk or another desk. I think we're starting from ground zero there, right? So we're a developing nation too. He's a very smart man. He loves his country. I know that for a fact. I know him very well. And I think he's going to want to get to a deal. I think that's going to happen. We'll get a phone call at some point, and it'll be off to the races. It'll be a great thing for them. It'll be a great thing for us. It's going to be a great thing for the world and for humanity.
Are you concerned of escalation beyond the trade war with China?
No, I'm not concerned.
Do you have to increase tariffs on China even more before they come to the table or give you a phone call?
I can't imagine it. No, I can't imagine. I don't think I'll have to do it. I don't think we'll have to do it more. We calculated it very carefully. It has to be done. It's too bad. Yeah, please.
Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi, they've been talking about tariffs for decades. How come when these Democrat elites want tariffs, everything's hunky-dory, but when President Trump wants tariffs, all hell breaks loose? Do you see this double standard?
I love this guy. Whoever the hell that is. That's really nice. I appreciate that question. No, Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi, everybody knew you had to do it, but they never had the guts to do it. It does take guts. It even takes guts for our country to go through it. That's why I say be cool. They were saying about, just be cool. It's going to work out. It's going to work out, and it's working out. I can tell you, working out maybe faster than I thought. Our country's going to be, there'll be nothing like it. And people investing in our country, they're going to do better than they've ever done before.